Okay, so welcome to Module 2 of the E-Hypnotherapist 12-week certification and marketing program. So you are either one of two people. Either you have attended the live training recently, and so this is just going to be a nice follow-on from that, or maybe you haven't attended the live training, in which case, to kind of catch up to speed, in the live training we teach people traditional hypnotherapy, and we cover a little bit of the marketing side of things. And we also cover a little bit of the E-Hypnotherapy. We're going to go into a deep dive. This is Module 2. This week's training is all about how to master the E-Hypnotherapy side of things. We'll also show you how to get some of the low-hanging fruit, how to get some clients, how to make some money through your business this week, hopefully, for many of you. So let's jump straight into it because I've got plenty of slides and I've got no idea how long this is going to take me. My aim is to go for an hour, so let's see how we go. So this is about how to master E-Hypnotherapy to create success with clients. We'll start with that because I think that before you can start to put yourself out there, you need to have that confidence that, well, if someone comes my way, if someone puts their hand up and says, yes, can you please work with me, that you know what you're doing. So let's have a look at that. So there are 5 E-Hypnotherapy pre-frames. And these are probably the 5 most important pre-frames. And what is a pre-frame? A pre-frame is something you say to someone that influences them in the future. It frames them up pre the experience, hence the word pre-frame. So the first one is make sure that you've got a reliable connection. So you want to let your client know and ensure that both you and your client have a reliable internet connection to avoid dropouts and disconnections. If the client is in a zone where they may not get reliable internet, you kind of have to think creatively, maybe use a smartphone, connect to a smartphone or some other device. But ultimately, if they just cannot get their hands on a reliable connection, you just may not be able to work with them, perhaps. Or you just have to deal with some of these interruptions that you're likely to get. So that's the first pre-frame. The second pre-frame is about the disconnection, and you just want to create a suggestion, at least inform them that this could happen, and explain to them that if they don't hear your voice for X minutes, whatever that might be, let's say for 2 minutes, I wouldn't make it any longer than that, but let's say 2 minutes, that they'll actually bring themselves out of trance. So this is something you pre-frame them for. You tell them consciously, and then in the hypnosis session, you're going to tell them that unconsciously as well. So there's kind of like 2 layers, a conscious learning and an unconscious learning. The next pre-frame is pre-frame to control their environment. So you're telling them to take responsibility for changing their environment or controlling the environment. So ask the client to notify all parties at home in their space to not disturb them for an hour. And that's probably what the X is, an hour of time. You also want to let them know to ensure that they put their pets away and that all doors are closed. And just really just inform people that, that they're going to be not to disturb them for an hour unless it's some sort of emergency. The next one is inform them to sit upright comfortably. And that's because if they're laying down, there's less hypnotic phenomenon that can take place. And it's not absolutely true, but it's a little bit more challenging for the client to kind of use their body following some of the hypnotic phenomenon. It also means that it's the physiology of sleep. So they're actually more likely to sleep if they're laying down. So you just want them to sit upright. It also means because if they're sitting upright, you can see them a lot easier. Remember, you're limited by the frame of the video. So you want to make sure that they're within view. And you just let them know that it's going to help them go deeper and get a better result. Now, that is a meaning, and hypnotic language is all about giving meaning to things. And then once you give meaning to things, people are more likely to follow that meaning. So that's kind of what we're doing here is we're giving a meaning to, well, by sitting upright comfortably in a chair is going to help you go deeper and help you get a better result. So we're giving it that meaning. And then the 5th one is to establish an abreaction anchor. So what is an abreaction? Well, an abreaction is, really simply put, a reaction that you're going to get from a client that is abnormal for what you're expecting. So if someone was to cry suddenly, or someone was to kind of shake uncontrollably, or something like that, is what we call an abreaction. Now, often what happens at a high level, it's where a client has gone into an unresourceful state. We don't really need to work out what state it is. We're just looking at whether it's resourceful or unresourceful. So they've gone into an unresourceful state, in which case we need to bring them back into a more resourceful state so we can continue to work with them. So this is what we call an abreaction resource anchor. Now, an anchor is from Pavlovian sort of theory of conditioning. And so conditioning or an anchor is where you touch someone in a certain way or you say a certain word, and that's neurologically connected to an emotion. And that's what we're going to be doing is we're going to elicit from our client something I like to do for fun, something where they're in a positive state. We'll get them to tell us a word, and then when we kind of fire that off and we kind of connect it through repetition, that word is now neurologically connected to that emotion. It makes sense. We've got some instructions here. So this is how you create a abreaction anchor. I gave you the quick rundown, but here's it in black and white for you. So number one, you want to get the client into a positive state. So an example of that is you ask them, what do you like to do for fun? Now, if you've watched the video of The Matrix of Reality, you'll know why this works, because it changes people's internal representation. When you change an internal representation or their focus, it changes their state, changes their physiology. And that's what we're doing. We're changing their focus. What do you like to do for fun? Then they're now in a more fun state. Number two, associate the client to feelings, with feelings. So how does it make you feel when you do that? So they're going to now tap into their emotional sort of side of their brain and kind of explore the feelings. How does it make you feel? It makes me feel fun. It makes me feel great. It makes me feel, creative, whatever they're saying. So we're now kind of getting to kind of build up this association of positive feelings, resourceful feelings. Number three, you then want to elicit the phrase, the anchor phrase. And so you might say to them, whilst they're in state, so they need to be kind of feeling these feelings, what is a word that best describes that activity and the feeling that you have with it? And you want to encourage a fast, unconscious response. So a really quick way, a way that I find works really well, is you just kind of click at your client, and that gets them to give you a quick answer. Now, this could be a pre-frame you might want to use for all therapy, is you pre-frame someone, hey, I'm going to ask some questions, just want to give me some quick answers. That's typically the best answer that your unconscious mind can give us. That's sort of a quick little pre-frame, so they know what's going to happen. So when I click at someone, don't click in their face, of course, but just click there, and that in itself is an anchor. That's an anchor to go unconscious, to give you a fast response. So you just want to get those fast responses. You don't want them getting too analytical, kind of judging themselves, judging their response. Oh, should I say that? What are they going to think of me if I say that? So you always want to just go unconscious. And then number four, ask the client to close their eyes and then get into state. So now that you've got the anchor phrase, we need to kind of set it. So before we do, get them to close their eyes. Then you close their eyes so they're not going to be distracted. And then you ask them to get into state. And you've got some scripting there. So close your eyes and imagine a specific time, when you were doing X, whatever the fun thing was. Now, see what you're seeing, hear what you're hearing, and say what you're saying to yourself in that moment when you were doing X. And that just associates them to all their senses, their VACOG. And then number five, amplify the feeling and set the anchor. Now, feel the way you were feeling back then when you're doing X, and allow those feelings to get stronger and stronger and double those feelings. And then at that point, you're going to say the anchor word and double those, creative feelings. Give yourself that creative feeling. That's right. And you can sort of repeat that a few times, have them really sort of associate to it. That's right. Feel what you're feeling, see what you're seeing, hear what you're hearing in that moment when you're having those creative feelings. Really feel it. Those creative feelings. Double that feeling. Really feel it through every cell of your body. So you just wanted to, oh, wow. So you hear creative feelings. That becomes like the anchor phrase. And then, as it says, number six, repeat amplification and give suggestion for recall, repeat setting the anchor, and finally saying anytime you hear the word creative feelings, you'll instantly feel all those good feelings come back over you. And so you're just kind of setting that anchor, telling them consciously, telling them unconsciously or neurologically connecting it to the feelings. And that's pretty much how you set an abreaction. You're probably looking at, 2 or 3 minutes to set this. It's just the plan B. It's like wearing a seatbelt in the car just in case, but you always put it on. You trust you're going to be driving down the car safely, but you always put it on just in case something goes wrong. That's what an abreaction is. It's the seatbelt. It's the seatbelt for the whole hypnotherapy session. Most times, you could go your entire career and not have an abreaction, but at least you're wearing a seatbelt. At least you got the seatbelt on. Okay, so put together a little graphic here. I'd encourage you print this out. I'll put this graphic into the Facebook group as well. These are really good little graphics to go and print out. Like I've got some here, some of the ones that I put into, it's fallen off my monitor now. But these are things that I would go print out at Officeworks. They cost you like 30 cents. Just go to those Kodak kiosks You print them out, you can put them around. Now, I no longer have these on my monitor because I can't be bothered putting them up anymore, but this is how I really started to master a lot of this content, is I want to make sure it's visible. So I can put it on top of my monitor, and you've got no idea that I've got these sort of references above my screen. And that way you're continually taking it in. You're not having to go, oh, hang on, I need to fumble around and find my scripts. So you get access to this in the group, of course. You get access to this one as well. Now, if you come to the live event, we've already given you these cards. So you come to the live event, you actually get these. We print these out for you. That's part of the little pack that you get from us. Now, another tip for that is, or another tip for the E-Hypnotherapy. By the way, you're kind of at the point now where you've got all the knowledge you need in order to master E-Hypnotherapy. As long as, like I said, you've been to the live event, you've been certified as a practitioner in hypnotherapy, you know traditional hypnotherapy, it's now just adding that digital layer on top. So another tip here is to encourage clients to use noise-cancelling headphones to avoid being disturbed throughout the session. So rather than just using like earbuds that might sort of fall out, if you can get those can sort of things, we've got, I don't know where we got these from, but I think we got these from a flight at one point. They're noise-cancelling headphones you get from Qantas, I think. It might be business class, I'm not sure. And they just plug into a laptop. So there's no batteries or anything like that. I mean, there's a cord there, but you can get Bluetooth ones, of course. But you just want to encourage your client to set themselves up for success. Now, the second tip is ensure the camera frame contains the full scope of the client's upper torso, and you want to avoid any visual blockages. So it depends on how they sit. You want to make sure, so if you can see my screen right now, that's not a good frame for the camera. You always want to make sure that the camera is framed up fairly well, so you can get the best opportunity to see what's going on. If they can sit back a little bit, and that way you can kind of see their hands as well, even better. Because there could be some ideomotor responses you might be looking for. Now, again, if you don't quite know what that is, that's where you can actually set a right finger for yes, left finger for no, and you can just get them to communicate with these sort of ideomotor responses. So just something to explore and experiment with. Now, in terms of software to use, look, I recommend Zoom, and that's what I'm using right now. I'm using Zoom. Zoom's pretty effective. It does come at a cost of, I'm not sure what it is, maybe $50 a month. If it's on the free, you get 40 minutes free. So 40 minutes free, or when you pay for it, it then bumps you up into pretty much unlimited. Again, it's just a business cost that you need to consider. Yes, you can use Skype. I've just found a lot of the modern people that are kind of cutting edge aren't using Skype anymore. It doesn't seem to be as robust as Zoom. But you just get to pick and choose which one you want to use and ultimately what your clients are up for as well. So let's have a look at the three. And you could use Facebook video potentially as well. But just know that Skype is really good because it records. Like this is recording. So you've got a full recording of every single session that goes on. It's one of the things that we recommend when you're performing face-to-face hypnotherapy is record every single session because it gives you a degree of protection because everything that's been said is above board and no one can claim you said something that you never said. And two, you can then give your client a copy of it if they want a copy. If they're just unsure, they want to see something, they want to reflect back on it, you've got a copy. So Zoom is just nice and easy. It's just going to take a lot of the extra tasks out of it. Skype from memory doesn't record, but you can get an add-on that you can kind of put on top of it and it does record. So there's other ways through it. And I'm pretty sure Facebook doesn't record at all. Facebook video. But I might be wrong. I haven't really explored it too much. Let's have a look at the 3 stages before hypnotherapy to ensure success with your clients. So we're going a little bit into some traditional hypnotherapy behaviors, but I just want to, some of you have only come through the hypnosis weekend and you're like, I get it, I understand it, but I just want a little bit more, or maybe a lot, certainty in how to do this. So I've broken it down into some stages. So hopefully this is useful for you. So there are 3 stages before hypnotherapy. And by the way, if you're already a experienced hypnotherapist, I'm kind of telling you the stuff that you probably know and you're probably into your own zone and your own flow with how you do things. This just might give you some information that you go, oh, I haven't thought of it like that. Or, who knows, you might not learn anything. But keep watching because we're going to cover some of the marketing side of things very soon. Now, there's a prospect qualification, and this is before you accept someone as a client. They must first qualify themselves. So you've got the power. You've got the power to help them change their life, so you need to make sure they qualify themselves. Number two, and because all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Session number two, so the second stage is the session pre-frames. So we all kind of talked a little bit about this, but it prepares the client with an expectation on how the session will be delivered. And then stage number three is the pre-induction talk. So it establishes prestige, credibility, installs positive beliefs, and creates the end result imagery and the suggestions to be used in the hypnotherapy. So let's break them down a little bit deeper. So this is what you do in stage one. Typically, if someone reaches out to you, so imagine this is a lead, this is a phone call, this is a message, this is someone's just put their hand up, said, yes, Shane, I'm interested. Great. The first thing I'd say is, okay, so what's got you interested? And they're going to go on a bit of a rant. They're going to tell you some stuff. And remember, everything they tell you is useful information. They're going to tell you all about their belief systems, what's going on for them, what's valuable to them. So listen to this and start connecting the dots. Then I'm going to say, okay, so what would you like to see change? You know, what's your vision for something like this? What are you hoping to achieve? Kind of what I would be saying. Great. Number three is leverage on scale of 1 to 10. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of a problem is this for you? 10 being it's a big problem, 1 being not much at all. What number would you give it? Great, we give a number. So now I know how much investment they have, how leveraged they are. Okay, so tell me, what have you tried so far? Now this explores their limiting beliefs. What limiting beliefs do they have? What have they already tried? Again, this tells you, okay, what do I need to pre-frame against? If someone says, oh, I tried hypnotherapy, well, you then need to pre-frame them that you're a different hypnotherapist. You're an E-Hypnotherapist, first of all. And then I also like to pre-frame people, well, are there good doctors out there? Yes. Are there bad doctors out there? Yes. So not all doctors are the same. Not all hypnotherapists are the same either. Maybe you went to a hypnotherapist, just didn't know what they were doing. So you just kind of position yourself as, with me, you're in good hands. Number 5, how quickly do you want to solve this? So what I mean by that, that's really testing someone to see, are they just a tire kicker? Are they just, going, oh yeah, I really want to do this. Can I book in? Or they wouldn't say book in, but I'd say, yeah, I really want to do this. It's a big problem. I need to solve it. But I'm really busy at the moment. So call me back in 6 months. You're like, well, you just kind of wasted my time a little bit. So you always want to try to get rid of the tire kickers. There's always tire kickers out there. And in fact, in sales and in marketing, most people say no. They do. Most people say no. Most people see your ads will not click on it. Most people that, getting to see your marketing assets, it's not a good fit for them. Well, they're not ready just yet. However, we need to get better at helping people take action. And so part of that is we need to make sure that they're ready to take action. Otherwise, they're not the right fit just yet. Hence why we ask, how quickly do you want to solve this? Do you want to get it started? Do you want to solve it in the next week? Are you looking like in the next month? You're looking sort of 3 months' time? How important is this that you solve it pretty quickly? That's what I'm going for. I need to get a sense of urgency from people. And I'll typically give them a frame, like I said, next week, next month, or within the month, within the next 3 months, next year. You're happy to wait longer? I really want to test and find out where they're at. Then that creates that sense of urgency. So I think 5 and 6 are pretty much the same there. But you just want to sort of increase that sense of urgency. Great. Well, if they don't have a sense of urgency, that's when you can start to go, okay, well, look, what's it been stopping you from doing? Is that something you want to get rid of pretty quickly? So you can start to increase that sense of urgency for someone as well. Number 7, give the price and get a commitment. So I always like to give people 2 prices. It's something I'd recommend. You give them 2 prices so they can either pay in full, they get a discount when they pay in full, or they can go on a payment plan. Now, know that anyone that goes on a payment plan, let's say 10% of 100 people go on a payment plan, 10 of them, they won't complete that payment plan. So that's why the payment plans are typically at a higher level, because you're starting to give the service before people are completely paid for it. So you just need to do the numbers and go, okay, what sort of discount do people get by paying in full? And then what sort of premium are people paying for when they're on a payment plan? Now, why does that work? Because I'm probably pre-teaching one of the weeks, I think it's like week 6 or something, that where we're going to do sales psychology. But just really quickly, people love to have choices. So give them 2 choices. Give them 2 desirable choices, payment plan or paid in full. Now, on a payment plan, you always get a deposit. Get a deposit. Get a commitment. That's what a commitment means. Get a deposit. If it's free, there's still no commitment. There's no energetic investment in terms of the universal forces that are out there to say, you know what, this person's going to turn up. So make sure you get some financial commitment taking place. And then give them an ordeal. So you give them an ordeal. An ordeal is a way to test their leverage. Now, it's all about framing up the ordeal. So you want to frame up the ordeal as to why it's a good thing for them. So what I typically say to someone is, okay, great. So, next Monday, I'm going to help you do A, B, and C and become an X, Y, and Z type of person. Great, awesome. Help you do that. I'm going to ask you something for me. Would you be willing to do that? They say, yes. I go, great. Okay, so this thing I'm going to ask you to do is not just for me. It's actually going to help you get a better result. And earlier you said you're a 10 out of 10. You're fully committed. Is that right? You still Yep, I'm fully committed. Great, awesome. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, and then I ask them to do something. Now that ordeal is designed to push them outside their comfort zone. It's something I want to be able to validate. I want to make sure that they can show me that they've done it. So if I ask them to pick up 100 cigarette butts, I want them to bring up the bag that looks like 100 cigarette butts on the video. If I ask them to keep a food diary, I want them to hold up their diary and sort of flick through it so I can kind of see. Or I might ask them to take a photo and send it to me. So make sure that the ordeal can be verified, that it pushes them outside their comfort zone, and that they actually do it as well. They need to do it. All of that then qualifies them as, yes, you are suitable for me to work with you. Then we move into the session pre-frames. And so this happens as, on the appointment. So when they've booked in, so imagine we've qualified them, they paid a deposit, they turn up on the Monday, you got the call, and this is what you would do. So first of all, number one, assess the ordeal completion. Don't get too far into the conversation until you've worked out whether they've completed the ordeal or not. Because they haven't completed the ordeal, you need to address that. You need to address that because there's a good chance they've gone into effect. But you don't understand, I didn't have time. And what I mean by effect is they're blaming other things. They haven't taken personal responsibility. They haven't tapped into their internal power and just said, you know what, I just need to make it happen. They've made some excuse. There's some story going on for them. And if you don't handle that, you're building on failure. You're building on failure. You've got a shaky foundation already. Always build on success. That way, you're most likely going to get a successful outcome for you and your client. So make sure you assess the ordeal completion. Number two, talk about what hypnosis is not. So if you come to the hypnosis weekends, you'll know this is kind of step one. What hypnosis isn't. It's not mind control. We're not going to use a pendulum. You're not going to dance around like a chicken, that sort of thing. You're in control. Yep, high five. Shake hands, whatever it might be. You do a digital high five. Yep, great. Just to break them out of that yes, yes, yes type of pattern. What hypnosis is. So what hypnosis is, well, it's how the body's controlled by the mind. So what the mind sees the body has a tendency to do. We're in hypnosis, in and out of hypnosis all throughout our lives every single day. So you can just talk about that, what hypnosis is and why it's so powerful. We work with the crew, not the captain. The captain is the conscious mind. The crew is the unconscious mind. It's the crew that are actually in control of the ship. They just listen to the captain half the time. But when you've got mutiny, that's when we've got a problem. All that sort of stuff. And then number four, you're talking about the disconnection plan. So what happens when we get disconnected? What to do? What we're going to how we're going to repair that. So that's when you're going to need to learn some rapid hypnosis and just take them back into hypnosis. Now, this is something I like to do with someone is when you're doing video calls, because you can't touch them, you can't do through the floor. And if you've heard of through the floor rapid induction, if you haven't, let me know and I'll put a video together in the Facebook group. But what I like to do if someone's been disconnected is reconnect with them and say, okay, so what we're going to do is going to take you through this rapid self-hypnosis induction. It's going to take you very deep, very quickly. You'll go back to feeling as deep as what you were, okay? So you have them take a deep breath in as they raise their head up and then close their eyes as they drop back down. And that's it. So you just get them to do that. And then they'll just go back down into being relaxed and you can continue on. You might just take them through some quick little sort of relaxation again, some deepeners, just have them imagine themselves going down the stairs really quickly, take them very deep again and continue on. Number five, you want to control the environment. Make sure that you're talking to them about, hey, okay, have you controlled the environment? Have you closed the door? Have you put the dog away? Have you put the birds away? Have you put the cat away? Is everything cool? Have you done it all? Yep, great, awesome, fantastic. Number six, talking about the seating position. And then number seven, set the ab reaction anchor. So that's the session pre-frames. So imagine the flow of this. So you got the qualifier, the session pre-frames, and then the pre-induction talk. So the pre-induction talk is you want to re-establish your prestige. So you just reaffirm for them that you're in good hands. Like, you know, I'm an expert in this field, or I've done this quite a lot, or you know, this is my passion, whatever it is. You just give us re-establishing your prestige. You're then going to talk about 3 or 5 facts or stats. That just shows that you do actually understand this topic and this treatment. 3 to 5 causes. Make sure if you haven't gone through the world-class hypnosis script program, which you have access to through this Facebook group as well, and through this program, go and do that. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, it's in the scripts anyway. So if you're just using a pre-created script, one of ours at least, you'll have all this information now. If you're using a script from someone else, look, there's a lot of junk scripts out there. So, you know, user beware. But if you're creating your own, well, you know this very well anyway. Number 4, 1 or 2 uncommon knowledge or conscious solutions. So if I am being hypnotized by you, or I'm going through a hypnotherapy session with you, and you tell me all the stuff that I've already heard from everyone else, I don't feel like you're an expert. I just feel like you're like everyone else. So that's why that you want to bring something to it that has some wow factor. Something that makes people go, oh, I didn't know that. You know, you wanted to have this wow. Okay, wow, that's really cool. I've learned that differently now. So go deep, go diving, go find, you know, who is on the cutting edge of treatment for that particular issue, and bring some of that content into it. So, yeah, you're doing some research. I mean, yeah, if you're going to be serious about building your brand, you want to be world-class. Don't be trying to be some backyard, I'll just try to wing it and pretend, and hopefully people won't kind of look under the hood and see there's nothing there. Like, just, you know, be authentic about it and go, you know what, I'm just going to, and you don't have to live and breathe it for 24 hours a day, but it's just going, okay, what if I dedicate just 2 hours to, you know, really deep diving in to find out what is the uncommon knowledge here? What is the stuff that's going to blow people's mind? Bring that into it. Number 5, set the evidence procedure. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you want to be at the end of the session? Earlier you're a 10, where do you want to be? Oh, you want to be a 0? Awesome, great. So set that evidence procedure, where they are now and where they want to be at the end of the session. And then set the end result imagery. So again, you just find out how is life going to improve for you once you've overcome this. Great. You know, what would you be doing? Where would you be? When would this be happening? Who would you be doing it with? How would that make you feel? So you get them to really experience that future moment, have all that VACOG association to it as well. And then number 7, set some tailored suggestions. So you're going to suggest some yourself, and then you're going to ask your client to suggest some to you as well. And you're going to sort of package them all together. Now you've got a really robust plan. You've already probably got the script, or you just know what you're going to say anyway, but you've got added information now to really tailor the process for your client. There are 3 stages. So I put together this little graphic here to show you how all 3 stages are going to work. I will put this together as a graphic and put it into the Facebook group. In fact, I'll probably put it together as a PDF because it'll just be too small as a Facebook image. So you get access to this as well, just as a bit of a guide. So how do you get your first clients in 48 hours? Let's have a look at it without spending any money on marketing. So first of all, you need to ask yourself, are you ready for clients? So the first step starts with you. You need to know that you're ready. Now, there are 6 principles to helping a client get a result. And if you come to the Hypnosis Weekend, you will know these as the practitioner mindset formula. So, or the success mindset formula, depends on what I called it at the time. So you've got the commitments. The commitment is to do whatever it takes to help your client get a result. So you need to have that resourcefulness within you as a practitioner. Know, you know what? I will handle whatever happens. If there's an aberration, bang, I've got it. Like, you need to have that confidence about it. You need to go, you know what? I've got this. Now, even if you haven't, like the first time I hypnotized someone, I just had to pretend. I had to pretend, but what I mean by pretending, I had to pretend, but also know if shit hits the fan, I need to step up. I need to be able to do that. I need to be able to handle that. Like, I can't be like a deer in the headlights and like, oh my God, what do I do? Because that's just going to make my client feel even worse, right? So you just need to step up and just know, okay, if I have to dig deep and take control, I'm prepared to do that. Then prestige. So you want to always maintain your credibility and your authority with your title, your physiology, and your words. Your belief. You need to assess your client's belief in you, in themselves, and in the process. So there's 3 sort of elements to it. Do they believe in you? Well, typically they wouldn't be a client otherwise. Do they believe in the process? Again, typically they wouldn't be a client otherwise, but do they believe in themselves? That's the one where they probably need your assistance to coach them to build up that belief. Then leverage. Do they have enough leverage? We kind of talked about that already. Personal responsibility. Are they taking cause? Are they accepting it's up to them? All their results and all their lack of results is because of them. No one else. It's not about what happened to you in the past, not about what happened to them last week. It's about the choices that they are making, and therefore they can choose differently from this day forward. Let's draw a line in the sand. From this day forward, we're going to be at cause. We're going to take action. We're going to be responsible. Our ability to respond is what responsibility is about. And then rapport, mirror and match physiology. So I'm talking very fast at the moment, and it's simply because I've got no one to talk to. So I'm going to be talking at my speed. However, but if I was speaking to someone that was a little bit softer spoken or a bit more heartfelt, then I might, still holding my prestige, I might just slow things down and speak to them like this. So it's always about mirror and matching physiology, mirror and matching rapport, mirror matching tonality, and even sometimes their words. For some reason, I have the tendency to say fantastic a lot, especially when I'm on stage. And so, if you want to build rapport with me, especially when I'm on stage, and I'm trying to think about it now, I don't think I say fantastic all that much off stage, but on stage I do. That's just one of my patterns. You can say fantastic. You're going to build rapport with me. But if you say, that was stupendous, I'm like, I don't really say that. Now, it doesn't break rapport, but just it doesn't build rapport. So you can use key words that your client uses as well. So choose your launching service. Okay, so what we mean by that is choose, like, what are you going to offer people? And that is like, what's the one thing that you'll focus on to begin with? Because a big mistake a lot of people make is they try to come out of the gates as a generalist. They're like, oh, I'm just happy to get a client with anyone doing anything. Yeah, and that's probably why most people struggle to get clients, because they're trying to be a generalist, and people don't like to work with a generalist. They want to work with an expert. So let's have a look at some data here. So this is hypnosis versus hypnotherapy. Now, if you've already done the 6-week hypnotherapy side hustle with me, this is familiar to you. So it's looking at hypnosis versus hypnotherapy. What is being searched for more often online? So the word hypnosis is actually being searched for more than the word hypnotherapy. So if you are thinking about creating articles or blog posts or some sort of marketing material, just know that more people are looking for hypnosis than they are hypnotherapy. Doesn't mean you still can't. You can use both, right? You can use both. But let's have a look at which service is the most popular. So hypnosis for weight loss actually gets 27,000 hits every month. Now remember, you're an E-Hypnotherapist. You are not bound by geographical sort of limitations here. So you can work with anyone. There are 27,000 people every month are looking for hypnosis for weight loss. That's a pretty big market. Now, it's probably a saturated market as well, but it's a big market. And it's a what we call a red ocean market. There's already a lot of sharks in the water, and there's blood in the water, and the sharks are feeding off the blood in the water. A blue market ocean is when you're creating something brand new. So to give you an example, the E-Hypnotherapist. E-Hypnotherapist is a blue ocean market. There is no other E-Hypnotherapy program in the world. It's a blue ocean market. No one else does it. Emma Romano, who's one of my clients, is a family freedom protocol expert. No one else does family freedom protocol. If you want to learn the family freedom protocol, you have to go to her. No one else does it. That's what we call a blue ocean market. And so these are some examples of these are markets that already exist, right? They're already existing, but you need to choose your market, and then we brand you differently so that it becomes a blue ocean. So you start with a red ocean because there's already people spending money on that. You don't need to educate them. And then we leverage into a blue market. We'll talk more about that as we go through the program. So you got weight loss for hypnosis for weight loss, hypnosis for sleep, hypnosis for anxiety, hypnosis for smoking, hypnotherapy, anxiety. So you can see hypnosis for anxiety gets roughly 2,000 more hits per month than hypnotherapy anxiety. Hypnosis for depression, hypnosis for confidence, hypnosis for insomnia. So these are all still very viable markets that you could choose to be a part of. Let's have a look at some Australian numbers. So Australia is a much smaller market, but again, you're not bound by geographical limitations with this. But if you just want to work with Aussies, then you sure can. There's still 100 every month looking for hypnosis for weight loss. almost 100 for sleep, 60 for anxiety, 50 for smoking, and then 49 for self-hypnosis. Now, that's useful because self-hypnosis, you might create that as what we call a lead magnet, just to get people interested. People that are interested in self-hypnosis are probably more open to becoming a client of a E-Hypnotherapist as well. Now, going back to the blue ocean market we talked about, by being an E-Hypnotherapist creates curiosity because no one has gone through E-Hypnotherapy yet. Now, have they gone through hypnotherapy through a Skype call, through video call? Yes, quite possibly. But have they gone through E-Hypnotherapy? No, because you're one of the first E-Hypnotherapists in the world. So that means that everyone that's gone through hypnotherapy is also curious and intrigued and a possible client for you for E-Hypnotherapy. So that's why it's so important to keep that title as an E-Hypnotherapist. You don't want to just be a hypnotherapist that does stuff online, because you just get lumped into the pool of thousands of hypnotherapists that are already out there. There's no prestige in that. There's no credibility that's bigger and better than all the other hypnotherapists. But you're an E-Hypnotherapist. Now that's different. That creates curiosity. That creates intrigue. That gets people to go, oh, tell me more about that. That's what you want. That's branding. That's branding for you. Okay, so your focus. So what service or specialty will you focus on marketing to begin with? And it's this adage of like a hunting dog. A hunting dog saw a white rabbit, so he started chasing the white rabbit. And all of a sudden he saw a black rabbit. And so it's like, oh, I want to catch the black rabbit as well. So he tries to chase the black rabbit. Now he's trying to chase the black rabbit and the white rabbit, but they're going different directions. And he's like, oh, where do I go? And then there's a brown rabbit. He's like, oh, I want to get the brown rabbit as well. So he's trying to chase all three rabbits. And guess what? He doesn't get any, because you cannot chase multiple rabbits. You have to choose one rabbit. You have to go after that one rabbit and get really good at it. Now, I hope that doesn't offend any vegans or any sort of animal cruelty advocates out there. It's only a metaphor. There was no real dog. And so you just need to decide as to what's going to be your specialty, because that's going to help you get really good with your marketing. For instance, you have every single one of us, when we post on Facebook, we get one sentence to begin with. That's the first sentence. We are limited. There is only one. We all have to read one sentence in order to read the second sentence, right? So think of it like that. So you are limited by, I don't know how many characters that is. Let's say 65 characters to get people's attention. That's what we call a headline. Think of it as like a headline. That's all it is. So you cannot appeal to people that lose weight, people that smoke, people that have sleep issues, people that have anxiety issues in that one headline. It just doesn't work. It'll be an ineffective headline. You have to be targeted. Now, you might be thinking, oh, but Shane, what if I choose the wrong thing? Well, you just redecide later. Like don't focus on perfection. Focus on progress and get through the process. Like, there is so much value to just going through the process. Think of this as the long-term vision. Don't get too caught up in, oh, but I need this to work straight away. And you may need it to work straight away. But taking on that pressure and trying to focus on perfection is going to take you out of the game. You're going to overcomplicate it. You're going to get so stressed about things and you're not going to enjoy the process. It's much better to just do it. Like, just take action. And if it doesn't quite work, if 12 months down the track, you're like, oh, it's not quite what I feel, rebrand yourself. You can rebrand. Once you understand the process, you can rebrand. There's many opportunities to restart something and change brands. Sometimes people meet me and they think I'm the relationship guy because we run relationship success. Other people meet me and they think I'm the public speaking guy because they meet me at world-class speaker training or Unleash Your Inner Speaker. Other people meet me and they think I'm the hypnosis guy because they meet me at the hypnosis weekend. So we've got different brands, and I don't care what you think, what title you actually give me, as long as when you meet me for what your needs are, you know me as the title that has prestige and that I'm credible for you to follow, for you to listen to, for you to take action based on what advice I'm giving. That's all I care about. I don't really care what my big title is, because marketing is very much like an echo chamber. And when you stay in that echo chamber, if you learn about me through hypnosis, you only know me about hypnosis. That's all you know until I decide I want to give you insight into something else. So don't feel like you have to get it perfect. You don't have to get it perfect. You just have to get into action and put it out there. See what happens. So how much do you believe in you? So confidence comes from your belief in yourself and your knowledge. So how much do you believe in your ability to perform hypnotherapy on someone? If you don't believe if you don't have a really strong ability to do that, you want to reread your training manual and practice more and retrain. In fact, one of the tasks I'm going to give you in this week's training is to get an accountability buddy and start performing E-Hypnotherapy with that accountability buddy. Just do it. Just do it, because look, some of you may be really confident, you know, I don't need an accountability buddy. If you are already an active hypnotherapist, you've got that confidence, you've seen, 20, 30 clients already, then you may not need to do it. You might just go, you know what, Shane, I've got it. I'd be that same way. However, but that being said, if you just want to get an accountability buddy, go for it. That's one of the things I'm going to ask that you do. If you have not seen 20 clients or so, get an accountability buddy. Just do it, and just know it's about building that successful outcome for yourself. It's one of the necessary ways that you're going to show the universe that you are earning the right to have that freedom lifestyle, to have that abundance, and for you to be able to have that fulfillment in your life as well. Now, how much do you believe in your ability to perform hypnotherapy for someone for a specific service? So whatever your service is, if it's sleep, if it's weight loss, if it's anxiety, if it's whatever it might be, if you're not confident in it, then reread your scripts and do some more research online. Just do that. To test it out. Go and start speaking to people about what you're learning. Represent the information. That's how you get good at it. Another reason I'm so good at a lot of these tools is, one, I put into practice, but I'd share it. I'd talk about it. I'd continually talk about it. That to me is a sign of true passion. When people just can't shut you up because you love talking about this sort of stuff. That's a sign of true passion. Now, how much do you believe in what you do is of value that people deserve to invest financially in? So what I mean by that is, how much do you know that people deserve to financially invest in this, and you can give them a return on that investment? If you're unsure of what that price is, go and research your competitors. Go and find out what other people are charging, and charge either a similar amount or lesser amount or a higher amount. Ferrari, Rolex, Louis Vuitton, they're not the cheapest product on the market, but they price themselves in a way that builds their prestige. And then you've got, let's say, Kmart brands or no-name brands. You can get a $5 watch from a service station these days, most likely. Why would someone spend $5,000 on a Rolex? Doesn't make sense when you can buy a $5 watch, because a $5 watch doesn't make a executive feel the same. So it's all about how you position yourself. But you've got to know authentically that you deserve to put that sort of price point on yourself, that you can deliver to that it's going to be a good return on investment for your client, that you can deliver to that promise. So who's your target market? So if you try to appeal to everyone, you end up appealing to no one, like that dog. So this is my quick recommendation. We'll go into a bit more deep dive for future weeks. However, I just want to get you started. So this is a really basic way of doing it. What gender are you going to go after? What I mean by that is, imagine if you had males, females, and we'll kind of use it in that binary sense for now. Males and females, if you had to choose one, which would it be? You had to choose one. You can't say both. If you had to choose one, which is your preferred client to work with? All right, bang, that one. Great. So go with that. Now, what's the age range? So choose a 5 or 10 year age range. So if it was let's say it's a female. So it's a female from the age of 25 to 35, or 35 to 45, or 45 to 55, or 55 to 65. Which age range would it be? If you had to choose one, what should it be? The one you prefer to work with? That one. Go with that. Bang. That's it. Go with that age range. What's their biggest pain or problem? What's their biggest pain or problem that you can solve? Get clear on that. What's their biggest pain or problem? Get clear on what that is. They have trouble sleeping. Great. They're struggling with anxiety. Great. They want to lose weight. Great. So just get really clear. Now, again, you might want to look a little bit deeper. They want to lose weight. Why? Why do they want to lose weight? Because they don't like to look at themselves in the mirror. Great. Even better. The common mistakes that they make. What are some common mistakes those people are making? They're trying the diet shakes, and they're trying crash diets, and they're saying the word diet. That isn't a common mistake, because diet has the word die in it, and it also infers that there's some end point to it. So just look at some of the common mistakes that people make. Their dreams and ambitions. What are their dreams and ambitions? They want to feel healthy. They want to be able to look in the mirror and feel that they love who they're looking at, whatever it is. What's their dream and ambitions? And what language do they use to describe what they're looking for? Now, this is really useful because you need to speak the language of your audience, not your language. The biggest challenge for all of us when we're kind of woke, to use that term, when we're kind of, excuse me, on the other side of the transformation already, we start using different language. We need to use the language of the people that are stuck in the middle of their problem. So the more you can kind of interview people that are your target market is better. I've just spent the last probably 2 months speaking to probably about 100 people on the phones who are interested in the E-Hypnotherapy program. And I now know so much more about their language and their blockages that they're facing and what's holding them back. And there's so much gold in understanding the mindset of people when they've got a problem and what they're looking for to kind of pull themselves out of that problem. So it's really useful to interview some people who are a good fit for your target market. So let's have a look at the principles of converting an inquiry into a customer. So understand that what people want is often different from what they need. What I mean by that is they may want hypnotherapy, but what they may need might be hypnotherapy with a little bit of NLP thrown on top. So just keep that in mind, that you want to give people what they want, but then tell them what they need. Another example that doesn't involve NLP would be give people a weight loss session, but what they need is a donating weight or a releasing weight program. But people they're not Googling for that just yet. So give them what they want, and then once you have them in your room, have them within your influence, then teach them what they need. So the 4 emotions that convert a lead to a customer: number 1, they need to trust you. They need to be excited about working with you. They need to have hope that things can be different. So they need to kind of believe that this is going to be different for them. And they need to have a sense of urgency. If you don't have those 4 things built up for your client, they're not going to take action. So if they don't trust you, well, they're going to go somewhere else that they do trust. If not excited, they're not feeling the emotional pull to go, okay, I need to do this. If they don't hope that it can change, well, there's a good chance that they can just turn away and go back to their everyday life. And if they're not seeing a sense of urgency, they'll delay it. And this is what I can tell you again. I'll give you some pre-teaching of influence, and that is that whatever is focal is important. So that right now they need to take action today, because if they wait a week from now, something else is going to take their focus, and that's going to be important. I'll give you a quick example. Jess and I we had to kill some time, went to our baby was asleep and we had to go next door. We just walked around waiting for Lexi to kind of wake up, so we put her in the car. And so we happened to walk into Harvey Norman's. I love looking at gadgets. And I walked in and I saw the iRobot, this robot vacuum cleaner thing. And as I normally do, I started at the top and I worked my way down. I went to the top and I'm like, okay, this one here, it was like, I don't know, like $1,800 or something. And I'm like, you know what, we need to get that. And I pulled the trigger on it. And I said, yep, all right, wrap it up, let's do it. And then we thought, oh, well, we can sort of budget it easier if we put it on interest-free. We don't normally get interest-free, but we thought we'll do it this time. And so she put through an application. This saleswoman put through the application. And she must have put it through wrong, because she's like, oh, it's been declined. I'm like, that's weird. It shouldn't be declined. It was only after a $5,000 limit. It was really weird. And she's like, oh, it's been declined. And it was a Sunday, so we couldn't call. And so she's like, oh, sorry, it can't be done. So I just left. And now I'm not going out to get a vacuum cleaner, these robotic, because it's no longer a focus. It's not, I don't actually need that. I don't actually need it. But in that moment, yeah, I needed it. We needed it because it's going to mean that Lexi can crawl along the floor, and the floor, in between them, the cleaner comes. The floor's just going to be kept clean the entire time. That way the cleaner can clean the windowsills they don't get to and all this sort of stuff. And we're like rationalizing, wow, yeah, we need to do this. Yes, this is something we need to do today. Now, because we couldn't take action on it, and we just decided we weren't going to pay in full for it because it wasn't in the budget. And so we're like, you know what, we're not going to do it now. We'll just come back another time, and now probably won't get it. So who knows? But yeah, that's why it's so important that whatever is focal is important. So that's why you always want to get your clients to take action in the moment. 5 beliefs to create a customer. So 1, they have to believe that they got a problem, and it can be solved. Number 2, they need to believe in the person, so believe in you. Number 3, they need to believe in the path, so the path you're suggesting is going to work. Number 4, they need to believe in the product. that the product is going to work for them. So yes, hypnotherapy works, but your specific style of hypnotherapy, they need to believe in that, and they need to believe in the price. The price is a good investment for them as well. So let's show you how to get some of the low-hanging fruit. Now, the reason why I give you some of the principles is because now I want to show you how to start reaching out to people. Now, this is appealing to someone that's just starting out in their e-hypnotherapy business. So if you're already more advanced through your hypnotherapy business, you're already getting clients, this may or may not be useful to you. Let's go through it. So this is the first Facebook post copy that I would recommend you consider. So it starts off with, I'm so excited. Now, there's no such thing as a passive reader. So when we read, I'm so excited, we get a little bit more excited as well, because what do we focus on? Excitement. I've just finished advancing my education further, so that's to build prestige, learning new techniques, building prestige again, and I'm excited to hone my skills even further. And with a little cap, what's that, a graduation cap, again, build a little bit more prestige. If you are, and then you insert your target market, if you are a female from the ages of this to this who wants to, fall in love with themselves when they look in the mirror without using crash diets or pills or some strange thing that doesn't work, then let me know. Great. So that's kind of how you position it. That speaks directly to the person when they're reading this. I'm giving away to 2 lucky people an advanced e-hypnotherapy program worth $500 each to celebrate. If you're interested or know someone that is, comment below or message me. So now some of the concepts here are, I'm using some emojis because it draws your attention, draws your eye to certain things. I want to do that. Now, if you overuse emojis, it doesn't work. If there's too many emojis, you don't draw attention. It's saturation. It doesn't work. Now, also be careful when you post something like this, is be aware of how easy to make it read. I see so many people post amazing content, but it's this big chunk of text, and they're like, oh, can't be bothered reading that. So you don't. So make it nice and easy. Put some extra spaces in there. Make sure that it's useful and it's easy for your clients or your potential clients to read. Now, put an image with it. So you want to include an image there of you looking directly at the camera. That builds connection. Ideally, make sure it's looking happy with your teeth showing as well. I had someone tell me, I took a photo and they sent it to me, and I said, oh, it's not good enough because you're not smiling. They said, no, that's how I smile. I said, no, it's not. It's not how you smile. That's how you smile when you are being photographed. But that's not who you really are. Like when I'm around you and you are happy, I see your teeth all the time. It's just like when people are self-conscious, oh my God, a photo's been taken of me. They smile like this. But when they're truly happy, they're like that. So make sure it's is called a, what's it called? A Cayenne? No, Cayenne. Anyway, there's a special name. They give special names to weird stuff these days. But there's a special name for a smile where it's Cayenne or something like that. When the crow's feet show, and that's a genuine smile. That's what you want, a genuine smile. If you're self-conscious about your teeth, go and get an e-hypnotherapist to help you with that. Stop being self-conscious about your teeth. And then make sure you're close enough to the camera. So don't do it kind of like this. That's too far back. There's not enough connection. Being closer is better because there's more connection that way. Now, this helps draw the attention to the post. It looks natural and it builds connection and trust. So that's what you want to do with your video, with your image. Here's a quick example. Don't go looking at this. It doesn't exist, but I just try to put some stuff together. This would be a suitable photo. We've got me and Jess. Our teeth are showing, as you can see, looking directly at the camera. It's a lifestyle shot. It's not too salesy. It's not too businessy. It just shows connection. And therefore, it draws a connection. So when people are scrolling, they're scrolling. Ooh, photo of Shane and Jess. Oh, what's this about? Oh, it's about this now. That's how it works. Do's and don'ts. So do personally thank and briefly comment on each person who responds. That's a good thing because people like to feel significant. They want to be rewarded for commenting. Reach out to each person through a private message to discuss it further. So don't have conversations in a public forum. Do them offline. Do them sort of behind the scenes, not offline, but do them online, but in private message. Keep a list of every person that shows interest because you want to go back to them. They may show interest now, but they may not pull the trigger and take action. So you might come back to them 3 months' time and go, hey, 3 months ago you mentioned you were interested in it. How's things going? Is it something you want to consider at the moment? So that's how you build a pipeline. You're building a pipeline. Some people need 3 months. I'll give you an example. I had someone took 9 years before they took action and came to a course. 9 years. They were a lurker in my social media for 9 years. That's the power of follow-up. As they say in business, fortune is in the follow-up. So make sure you're following up on people. Check the format of the post to make sure it's easy to read. We already spoke about that. Don't discuss anything in detail on a public post. You don't want to do that. Don't forget to reach out to each person who responds. You're losing leads otherwise. Don't post too quickly after posting this post. Allow it to stay at the top of your page for 24 hours. And don't overuse too many emojis. This might distract from the visual impact of it. Now also, your first Facebook post is not the secret sauce. It's not the secret sauce. It's not going to change everything overnight. I would say 90% of people that do this Facebook post get clients from it, get paying clients. Now, about 10% don't. And what that shows us is that you haven't deposited into your social media network enough value yet to withdraw it. So think of it like a bank account. You go to ATM and you go, oh, I've got a new account. You're like, I want to get money out of the ATM. If you haven't been depositing, there's no money to pull out. Think of the same way as your social media network. If you have just been posting cat videos and memes and stuff that doesn't really add much value to people, and all of a sudden you're trying to extract value from it, people just see you as the cat video person or the meme person, and you haven't developed enough goodwill and trust to have people reach out to you yet. So that's when you have to understand that don't get emotionally invested in one post. Don't get emotionally invested in, but Shane, it didn't work. Okay, it didn't work. Great, move on. Celebrate the fact that you took action, though. You took action. Wow, that's just one post, one down of 90 to go. Get emotionally invested in producing 90 posts. So I'm talking about like 3 months here or 12 weeks, 90 posts, and then it not working. Then that way you can get emotionally invested in that. You can go, oh my God, it's not working. But look, hopefully we'll have rectified it before it gets to that point. But don't get emotionally invested in one post. Don't get emotionally invested in 5 posts. Just be consistent. Be consistent. You need to add value to your network. So how do you deposit? Well, the aim is to add value, educate, and engage. So create a post educating your network on what you do. Create a post addressing one of the most common misconceptions or mistakes that people make regarding your service or your skill. Create a post addressing how much this problem affects people and tell them why you're so passionate about helping people with it. And then ask a question that gets engagement that's relevant to your area of expertise, such as, what do you think is the biggest challenge when trying to overcome the problem, whatever that problem is? That's how you're going to start to change the culture of your social media. If you've just been posting cat videos, your ship has been sailing down the aisle of cat videos. We need to kind of turn it around into, now you're going to be an E-Hypnotherapist and you're going to help people change their lives. Depends on, a big ship takes a while to turn. If it's a small ship and you haven't been doing many cat videos, you can make a quick turn. So it's always about the feel of your social media account. What does that feel like? Does it feel like you're someone I can trust? Does it feel like you're someone that I can relate to? Now, because a lot of people in the background are sitting there thinking, try to move that out of the way, what's this new thing that you're dabbling with? When you start, wow, I'm doing this new thing, so many people are going to sit on the sidelines and going, oh, yep, Shane's doing some new thing. Let's see how long he dispenses with this. Especially if you have a history of trying something not working, trying something not working, trying something not working, trying something not working. They then think, oh, yeah, you're doing that thing again. You're trying something not working. So don't dabble. If you're doing this, do it. Do it until you get the result. Not I'll do it for 3 months, not I'll do it for 6 months. Do it until it works. It absolutely works. It's going to change your life, but the universe is going to test you. The universe is going to test you, and it's going to send you some big tests. Like, in us running our company like we do, the first 12 months, there were times when we almost went broke. And that would have been, if I'd spoken to anyone that probably wasn't as aware as what I was doing at the time, if I'd spoken to anyone that wasn't my mentor, they would have told me, go back and get a job. You can go back and get a 6-figure job just like that. Why are you struggling so badly? But I had to persevere. I had to show the universe that I wasn't dabbling. I wasn't just going to be a fair weather performer. I was committed. I saw the vision of what this could be. So you have to see that vision. You have to hang on to that vision. You have to remind yourself of that vision. You have to have mentors around you. It's going to Yeah, it's going to help you stay focused in those moments where everyone else is telling you to give up. And there'll be people telling you to give up. It could be your partner telling you to give up. It could be your parents. It could be your friends. It could be your family members, all telling you to give up. You have to find the person that has the result that you want, and you have to listen to that person. You have to avoid all other distractions. And that's how you get a result. So, look, I can tell you if you dabble, you're going to get dabbling results. You will. Now, look, I also know not everyone's ready to fully commit, but you have to ask yourself, am I going to be that person that fully commits? Am I going to be a person that in 12 months' time, everyone goes, wow, geez, you were lucky. And you'll go, no, I wasn't lucky. I just fucking committed. I committed and I did it. And I pushed through all the hard times as well. That's the person you want to be. So let's have a look at your minimum effective effort. So marketing requires time or it requires money. Now, we're going to show you how to just use your time because, some of you may not have the money just yet. Now, right now, I pay someone else, what is it, $2,000 a month to take care of our marketing. But for probably 8 years, I was doing it myself, first of all. But it took up a lot of time. So you just have to ask yourself, are you going to pay for someone else to do it, or are you going to use your time? So let's use your time for now. So either you pay someone to do it for you or you make the time to do it yourself. Social media is a great free marketing and advertising tool if it's used effectively. Don't just boost posts. Don't dump money into Facebook ads unless you truly do. I thought I knew Facebook ads, and I learned more about it, and that's continually changing, by the way. If you have not retrained with Facebook ads since, when did it change? April. No, it was April, late April. Everything changed. They changed everything. And so if you are not keeping up to date with the most effective marketing strategies, you could just be losing money and wondering why you're not getting a return on investment. So that's why we're going to teach you all how to do it free cost. No spending money on Facebook ads. That's a whole big beast in itself. Now, how often will you post? You have to ask yourself, well, how often will you post? What will be your minimum effective effort standard? What's going to be your standard? You're going to post once a day, 3 times a week, or once a week? When you think about this in marketing, we talk about that people need to see a marketing piece, or let's like you call it an advertisement 15 times before they'll take action. Now, only about, let's say, 3% of your audience will be online when you post. So if you've got 100 friends, you post today, only 3 of them will see it. Now, for you, because you're in this kind of echo chamber, you are completely aware of how often you're posting. You'll feel like you're posting too much. Oh, Shane, I'm posting 3 times a day. Is that too much? Is that going to turn people off? No, it won't. It won't. Because your raving fans will love it. They're like, woohoo, getting all this content, as long as it's good content, of course. And then the people that aren't your raving fans, they're not seeing all 3 posts. They've got busy lives. Some people use Facebook once a week. Some people use it twice a week. Some people use it once a day. If they use it once a day at 6 a.m. and you post at 10 a.m., they're not seeing it again until 6 a.m. the next day. By 6 a.m., between 10 a.m. the previous day and 6 a.m., do you think there's other posts? Yes. Is there a chance they're going to see yours? Unlikely. So don't get too caught up in, but I'm posting too much. You're not. Look, if you're posting, 10 times a day, maybe that's too much. But until you get to that point, you're not posting too much. So you have to ask yourself, how often do you want to post? Well, this is just free marketing. How many clients do you want? How seriously you can take your business? I always try and make a point to post at least once a day. At least once a day. And into my groups, at least once a week. Sometimes, probably 3 or 4 times a week. But I'm always trying to go, okay, how can I lead by example? I have to lead by example. I have to engage. I have to add value. I have to, create trust. I have to create goodwill. I have to deposit into the bank. That's what you're doing, depositing into the bank. You can't expect people to take you up as a serious life changer or E-Hypnotherapist or whatever title you want to give yourself unless you're putting yourself out there. Now, my challenge for you is to request an accountability buddy in this group as well. So let's talk about how to respond via private message. So when someone does reach out to you and they're like, yep, I'm interested, this is how you do it. So you send them a private message and you might say, hey, Shane, thanks for commenting on my post about the E-Hypnotherapy giveaway I'm running. Can you tell me what got you interested? Do you see what we're doing here? What got you interested? Great. Then you make a personal comment about what they mentioned. That builds rapport and shows genuine care. And so, okay, great. Can I ask, what would you like to see change and what have you tried so far? So again, pre-qualifying. Number 3, make a personal comment about what they just said. And finally, how committed are you to making this change? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not much and 10 being fully committed, what number would you rate your level of commitment? So again, we're just doing this through Facebook message at the moment. Okay, great. I really appreciate your interest. I wish you all the best in being one of the lucky ones to win the E-Hypnotherapy program worth $500. I think you're a perfect fit for it. The competition closes in 72 hours, and I'll notify you of the results then. Do you have any questions for me or about the program? Great. Now, look, some people are going to say, look, can I just buy it? What's the price of the session? Can I just buy a session? Now, others will go, awesome, thanks. I look forward. I hope I win. Now, you're creating excitement. What are they going to be focused on for the next 72 hours? Are they going to win or not? So this is how you kind of collect these leads. You keep them excited. Now, your private message number 5, you're going to answer any questions that they sort of asked about with some short answers, and then even recommend that you jump on a call to discuss it in detail. Don't write big, lengthy responses. Don't do that, because they're unlikely to read it, and it's just so time-consuming. If it's a big, long response, you say, great question, Shane. Look, why don't we just jump on a quick call, and I'll just answer that for you. When's the best time to call? Today or tomorrow? And then just sort of go through there. Now, how the competition works. So imagine you get 20 people that all put their hand up and say, yes, Shane, I'm interested in this competition. You've got 20 conversations that have just happened. What you do is you give away 2 free sessions, but in return, you're going to ask them for a testimony. And then you send a second prize offer to the other 18 people, offering a 60% discount. So 60% of $500 is $197. Now, you could expect that 30% are going to take up your second prize offer. So you've now just got 5 paying customers at $197. So you've just made close to $1,000 from one post, potentially. Now you've got 7 clients. So 7 clients, so 2 for free, 5 are paying, and you just made $1,000. That's how you start to kickstart your business. Now you're getting testimonies as well. Testimonies are a big way to create proof, social proof, and credibility in your business. So the winning private message, you send a message to someone saying, hey, Frank, congratulations. Your name was picked out to win the full advanced E-Hypnotherapy session worth $500, absolutely free for you. When's the best time to call to discuss and arrange this? Morning, afternoon, or evening? You go from there. Now, if you don't get any response within 24 hours from the winning response, you go, hey, Frank, just checking in to make sure you saw this message. Is this still something you're interested in? If not, that's okay. I'll redraw your prize if I don't hear from you in 24 hours. You say, I'm sorry, Frank, but that's just the conditions of the competition. This is the second prize private message. So, hey, Frank, congratulations. I will choose a different name. Hey, Bob, congratulations. Your name is picked out to win the second prize. It's a full E-Hypnotherapy program worth $500, but for only $197, saving you over $300. When is the best time to call you to discuss and arrange this? Morning, afternoon, and evening. Now, you'll see what we're doing here is an assumptive close. We're not saying, would you like this? We're just saying, when's the best time to arrange it? Using assumptive close, because if you are congruent, you know you can help this person's life. You do not stop to ask them a yes or no question. You just go, you know what, this is good for you. This is going to change your life. Let's do it. Let's just get into it. Let them choose to go, oh, hang on, can we slow down? Make them do that. Don't you suggest that, because all you're going to do is get caught up in people's self-sabotage. Oh, I need more time to think about it. That's what causes their issues, is they keep telling themselves, I'm waiting for that perfect moment. I'm waiting for that perfect moment. It doesn't happen. Second prize, a no answer within 24 hours. Hey, Bob, I don't want to hassle you if you're no longer interested in this. Is this second prize session something you still want to consider, or are you no longer interested? But I just want to kick him out. Like, if you're not interested, just let us kick you out so we can offer it to someone else. And get a solid commitment. So always try to get a solid commitment from a client in the moment. Take a deposit if possible, as it prevents cancellations and no-shows. Now, how to post into the groups, because you might want to sell them more than people than just that are in your current social network. I mean, if you're going to start a coffee shop, you expect more than just your friends and family members to come and have coffee there. So you're going to get further reach by posting into groups. So you want to share the post to a local group, to share your professional page post. This doesn't happen from a personal page. So if you think of it as 2 things, you've got a professional page and you have a personal profile. I'm going to encourage you to post on your personal profile. You have a greater reach that way. However, you can duplicate that post, leave it for the next day, into your professional page. Then from your professional page, hit share and share that to some groups that are relevant to your area. And actually, it doesn't really matter about your area anymore because you're a digital e-hypnotherapist. So share it to whatever groups you're a part of. Just know that a lot of those area-based groups. They kind of make you live in that area to get access to the groups. Of course, don't spam groups. Don't spam it. Don't just throw it in 100 different groups. Facebook will kick you out, and you just come off like a spammer. So find some relevant groups, and maybe some spiritual event groups, some city event groups, some mothers groups, local area groups, buy and swap and sell groups. You just want to try to ensure that you don't come across as spammy and follow the rules, like I said. So how do you process payments? I'm going to try and wrap up really quickly. This is how you take payments, so you can just take money straight away. You can go to Officeworks. You can get a PayPal device. You can just set up a PayPal account. You can send people's like a payment request through their email address. So you can do it online, through the phone, or in person. You can go to Officeworks again or JB Hi-Fi. They have these things called Square. I think they're about $50 perhaps. And a device, so you can tap the card, or you can do it over the phone. You can do it online. Stripe is good for online or over the phone. And just go to stripe.com. Bank merchant account, that's a bit more of a process. They give you like a sort of device like this sort of thing where you take payments that way. A bit more of a process, like I said. Or you got Easy Debit, and Easy Debit does online, and they'll do payment plans as well. So just really quickly, I don't want to spend too much time in this. Just know, obviously, you need to find a way to process money. Some of you already have that. So here are my 3 big tasks. We are coming to the final slide. So here are my 3 big tasks for you. Have you got a lot of value out of this? Actually, I'm going to give you a 4th task. The task that isn't on this screen is this. I'm going to ask that you post in the group and you write the one biggest thing that gave you the most value from today's training. What's been the one thing? If you can distill it down into one thing, what's one thing that you've taken away from this call that's given you the most amount of value? I want you to punch that into the Facebook group, put a little post in the Facebook group about what's your one thing. What's your one thing that's about today? Now, here are my 3 big tasks for you as well. Number 1, get an accountability buddy, or what we'll call AB, through the Facebook group. So post in the group asking for an accountability, or just reach out directly to other members of the group. If you already know some members in the group, and you're like, yep, I want to work with you, just reach out to them directly. Number 2, arrange a time to swap a practice session with an AB, with your accountability buddy. So decide on who's practitioner, who's the client first. Take the client through the entire process, assuming that they're a brand new client. Oops, spelling mistake. And ensure that they still do the ordeal. Give them an ordeal. Make them go through it. It's good for them still, right? It's part of the transformation. Part of the transformation is doing the ordeal. And so clients, remember to be the perfect client as well. So, this is just going to give you like a dress rehearsal for what it's like. It's not a rehearsal. It's actually a real thing. It's just no exchange of money. Hence why the ordeal is so important, because if they're not doing the ordeal, they're not taking your time seriously. They're not taking the opportunity seriously. And so don't do it then. If they don't do the ordeal, don't do them. Go get another accountability buddy. Now, number 3, post on social media to find your first new clients. So follow the template. Just make some personal changes yourself. Make sure it's all your own language. Include a good photo of yourself, and remember to follow up on people. Now, if you want an advanced task, if you're like, Shane, this is too easy, I want to just go, I want to turn on my engines up to full gear. Give me more. Here's my other task for you. Here's my advanced task. Record a sessions pre-frame video that you could use to send to clients before their scheduled session to reduce time spent discussing these. So it's still recommended that you recap all the pre-frames once they come, once they're on the video, I should say. But it's actually going to give you more time in the hypnotherapy session. So what I mean by that is, imagine if you were doing a video, you did a video of all the pre-frames. And so once they're like, yep, Shane, I want to work with you. Here's my deposit. I go, great. The last thing I'd say to them is, look, Frank, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a video. It's going to give you a lot more information about what to expect when we have our call next. So just make sure you watch that before our call, and I can answer any questions for you. That's how I pre-frame it. Now, when I jump on the call with Frank for his session, I know he's already watched it. I'll just say, okay, Frank, did you watch the video? You did. Awesome. What do you think of it? Great. Okay, so you remember this, you remember this, you remember this, you remember this, you remember this. Great. Already covered. Great. So I cut back my time. I'm no longer using time for all this stuff that I have to tell people time and time again. And you know what? It means I don't have to be a parrot and just say the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. It means I've got now this optimized sort of workflow happening. So that's my advanced task for you. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this week's training. Next week, it is a live group coaching call. So any questions that you've got, put them into the Facebook group. I'll answer them as a group next week. You want to jump on it live as well. If you can be there, if you can't, it'll be recorded anyway. I hope you have an awesome day. Take action. Post out there. Get an accountability buddy. And if you're really ready for it, do a video of your sessions pre-frame. Put that in the group as well. I'm happy to give you feedback. And if your accountability flakes out on you, reach out to me. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. And don't forget to mention in the Facebook group that one big thing that you've taken away from this training video. Hope it didn't go over time. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.